Hi. I'm sorry, we're live now.
That's my daughter, man.
She's beautiful, Jim. She's beautiful.
Oh,
Good evening,
she's
everybody. Oh, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off, sir. But good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the panel. We've got Jimmy, we've got Dutchy, and we're gonna jump to Jim first, since Jim was talking and I cut him off. He just showed us his beautiful daughter. How's everything going, Jimmy? What were you about to finish your comment with?
Jeff Beck, the great guitar player, just passed away, which is very sad.
May he rest in
And
peace.
rest in peace, man.
Talk about some of the songs he may have done, Jimmy, so we can help our viewers appreciate who this brother
Okay,
is.
he was one of the most innovative. It might not be music that a lot of people heard. It was instrumental music, and the music was very innovative. It's called fusion. It's like
Fusion,
a
okay.
mix of it's a mix of jazz and rock. And if you look him up, you can look up Jeff Beck. So many songs. He's got like 30 albums. He was in the Yardbirds. Did you guys ever hear the Yardbirds? Can we
The
catch another?
Yardbirds, yeah, I heard of them. I can't
Yeah.
say
So
I can name a song of theirs off the top of my head though.
yeah, he was in the Yardbirds, and really sad, man. He was really an amazing, amazing musician. I'll turn you
So,
guys on to some tracks of it so you can check them out.
all right, that's what's up. I appreciate that, Jim. Yeah, because there's so many artists out there, man, and some of them just fall through the cracks, or some of them I just don't know. But I love all types of music, so it'd be nice to appreciate some of the stuff that he's done. How old was he
Yeah,
when he passed? Do you know?
he was 78 years old, and
Okay, okay.
yeah, and actually, I'm a jazz fusion player. Like that's what I grew up on. So my style of music is, that's the style I grew up on. Him, Jimi Hendrix, and him were my biggest influence.
So he played like Jimmy?
Oh, I love
Oh,
Jimmy.
Jimi Hendrix got me playing the guitar. Jeff Beck kind of finished me off, but
Okay.
I play a very Jeff Beck, Jimi Hendrix style playing,
All right.
very much like I'm a Hendrix freak, I mean, I think I was 9 years old. I've been playing the guitar since I'm 5, but when I heard Jimi Hendrix, I actually saw him live in 1969. My
Wow.
uncle was babysitting me, and he was going to be a policeman, and he snuck away, and it was the Ritz. And you could look it up. It was a show that Jimi Hendrix did on the Ritz on Port Richmond Avenue. And I actually saw him live. I was a young kid. I can barely remember it, but I remember him being on stage. I saw this guy with these flary yellow, shocking pants. That's all I remember, and a red shirt with this psychedelic belt.
Wow. Life
Yeah,
changing
so
experience,
I
wasn't
was
it?
really fortunate. He died the next year. He died in 1970. He was
Yeah.
one of the club of the 27-year-old guys.
Yeah, the 27, like Kurt Cobain and
Yeah,
yeah,
Kurt Cobain. They were all 27. Yeah, it's
yeah,
pretty
there's a lot.
interesting, right?
Yeah, there's a lot. They call it the 27-year curse, right? Don't they?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. It's a damn shame. It's a
Janis
damn shame.
Joplin.
All of that, huh? So let me jump to Dutchy. How you doing this evening, Dutch?
Not too bad. Just coming back from a nice little beach excursion.
Okay.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, I was gonna actually podcast on the beach, but I think the waves were a little too loud. So I'm not really certain about the reception. I'm
Mm.
not I didn't want to cut in and out, you know what I mean? Because remember, there's not like a lot of cell towers close to
Yeah,
beaches.
which is hard.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I didn't
but
want to
no,
take
no,
a
that's
chance.
good. That's good that they're not, because when you go to the beach, you're supposed to enjoy yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But for people that, okay, so you have a lot of DJs now that use different backdrops and backs, so a lot of them are going to like there's one DJ I listen to specifically, Oso City. He literally everywhere, that's why they call him Oso City. He literally goes and DJs in different places. He's a DJ that doesn't have a hype man, he doesn't have anybody. You literally see him interacting with whoever his viewers are. He doesn't scream over any of the music. He kind of lip syncs, but you never hear him. But he'll have like the beach as a backdrop. And then he might have like Times Square as a backdrop.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
that's
So
nice.
so he actually travels to all these places. Last time he just traveled to, I think, was it the Alps? He went somewhere where it was really cold and he was DJing in the snow with slippers on, chancletas, what we call them, or what do y'all call them in English?
Slides.
The flip flops, yeah, the
Yeah,
flip
flip
flops
flops.
with the thong. And he
Oh
was
no, he had on flip flops.
Yeah, flip-flops in the middle of the snow. DJ.
Jeez. Hey, we gonna
So,
have to give him a shout out in the comments when we get a chance. That way, other
yeah.
people can, and he knows we shouting him out because you give him
Yeah.
great detail about him. That's what's up.
Yeah. Oso City, he's a great DJ. I don't know him personally, but
a shout out's a shout out, babe.
Yeah, I guess
That's it.
What I like is, I thought about. I was like, damn, I guess I could go podcast at the, So
it would be nice to see different places in Hawaii while we're on here.
I might take that into consideration, and I might actually start mapping out where my phone, because there's certain spots on the beach that my phone works great.
Oh,
so yeah. I might actually take you up on that and start providing us and our viewers with some different sites.
Yeah, because it's cold here, man. We need to see the sunshine and beautiful weather.
I know it.
Man, let me tell you something. Was really getting used to Florida weather. I ain't used to this shit up here. I don't like it. I love Florida, man.
That's why I can't convince my dad to come back, right? Because he's down there in Florida, and he'll send me a message saying, it's 83 degrees here. How are you faring out there? Man, I'm cold. I mean, no disrespect, Pop. I love you, but I'm cold.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can only imagine, and that's why I said last time, I'm really sorry to anybody that's experiencing these extreme cold.
Oh, yeah.
Probably beyond what everybody's used to. Although we're not affected that much here by the cold, however, for us to get a cold front and it to drop into the 60s, and I know that's nothing to anybody else, that tells me how cold it is
over here.
Mainland.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's summer and spring year round here. And we actually had to close the windows because a cold front came and happened in Oahu. On some of the other islands, we had a cold front. And I was like, shit, it must be really cold on the mainland. So, shout out to you guys suffering through the cold. You only got April, y'all, 3 more months and we out of there. No more cold for you guys, hopefully. So
let's hope
for everybody.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
So what you smoking on? I see you rolled up. So what you got there?
So I'm actually smoking. Hold on. Wait. Where's my paper at? Nope, this ain't what I'm smoking. This is watermelon kush. I'm not smoking. I'm smoking lava cake.
Okay.
Nice.
Lava cake. That's what I'm smoking. Some lava cake. And something else called turtle traffic mix. I got bored with the lava cake, so I added a little turtle traffic on one side and added a little lava cake on the other side. And I'll meet them somewhere in the middle. We'll know somewhere halfway through the show if I start looking dumb in the face.
There we go. Well, I'm dabbing.
Okay.
I got some Colorado Kim in here.
Okay.
This stuff is hitting.
Is that a cross between Kim Dog and Colorado something, or?
No, just call it Colorado Kim.
Okay.
Yeah. On Asking Virgo, I should have that box ready to share with everybody to let them know exactly what I'm smoking. But man,
okay. I was like, wait, what? Yeah, for surely.
This dab machine is like the best.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's a wonderful thing about Ask a Virgo, Jimmy. If you ever get to tune in, we get to share all types of little goodies, and it's always something different. Might be something for the bedroom today, and it might be something for your nerves tomorrow. So,
amen, girl. Amen.
Yeah,
we need that for the nerves, man. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
For surely. Yeah.
Well, look, folks, let's jump into some of these topics, right? And so, Jimmy, you were talking about the Rito. The rapper in Celsius water?
Yeah, but this is a serious thing. In 2014, I was reading up a whole article because I was like, wait a minute. I remember in 2014 and 2015 when this was a big hype thing. And Celsius, what is it?
I call it Celsius, but I may be
Celsius, right? Celsius. This drink company wanted to sponsor him and use him as a voice for the company.
Okay.
So they brought him in, but the problem was after so many years, after Celsius is claiming that they weren't making money on the soft drink.
There it is.
Yeah, that's it. And he said, "Wait a minute, you brought me on here. You made me promote it. You made me do all this stuff, and I brought my face on there, and now I have no value." So, it's a corporate company trying to beat a guy that they're using for their front man. And
the little guy always gets the little stick.
of course, and now he now has a major lawsuit against Celsius in that regard, that he never got paid or was compensated for doing that. But they posted him. If you remember, the post is, maybe not even 6 years ago, there was major posters with him on Celsius. He was even on the packages when you bought like a pack of the Celsius drinks. And I
Really?
remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
So I didn't jump on Celsius's bandwagon until maybe 2019, 2020.
Yeah, he, and all of a sudden they dropped him and they did all this stuff, but they never ever paid him.
Never paid the brother.
They never paid the guy, so he has a lawsuit against them now, and he's taking it very calmly, but it's also a very serious thing because that's the problem with these companies. They did that with Michael Jackson, Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
And you remember when his hair got on fire and all that stuff, and they were promoting him.
You had a whole little rhyme to that. Remember, Dutchie?
Yep.
Yeah.
I pledge allegiance to the flag. Michael Jackson is a bleed. Pepsi burned him up.
That's right,
now
man.
Drink the 7-Up.
Yeah, I remember that. Hey, man.
Yeah.
Michael, rest in peace. Huh?
I think we all use that one like religiously too.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
That was like a jump rope thing. I mean, you can use that for everything.
For sure.
That's
you
right.
do that for that and jump roping and
that is
good times of youth. Yeah, man. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Redo.
Yeah.
I hope everything works out for you, brother. I thought you were going to say something along the lines of Celsius was poisoning people, so I started getting nervous. But I'm glad.
No. Actually, it's actually a very popular drink, and they do very well, and the company does very well. But how does a soft drink company tell the guy that you're using as a front man and a face and promoting it? And there were commercials I saw with Redo on it. And I think he's pretty damn good. I like it. I liked the stuff that I heard from him. But to use a guy like that, man, I'm sure he'll get something in court. I'm sure he has to.
Yeah, that's definitely some BS. But
Yeah, the entertainment business.
I'll switch to another drink until they get their shit together.
That's right, babe.
I really was not aware. I definitely heard of Celsius, correct?
Celsius, yeah.
Celsius, yeah.
And all the PXs and stuff like that. It's a major brand. It's in all the exchanges and stuff like that.
What kind of water is it again?
It's just it's a substitute for Monster.
Yeah, it's I like it. It's actually good.
Very good compared to like Monster and the rest of them. It's my preference.
Yeah, I liked it, and they do very well. The company's doing very well, but they told Redo that, we haven't made money on the soft drinks that you were promoting, and we canceled them out.
Military contracts. So I don't know what's happening.
Well, they're just making it good for themselves and not anybody else. So
yeah, that's that BS right there. That's that BS. So look, did you guys hear about the girl? I'm gonna butcher her name, and I apologize in advance. Elara, Omatara, I think is her name. She's a girl. She had sickle cell. She lost all of her hair, and now she's
yes.
Yeah.
I don't know much about that. I'm dying to hear that.
Yeah. So she had sickle cell. So she's now doing like hair oils, stimulation butters, accessories, and stuff like that to help young girls get their hair back. And I thought that was beautiful. That
yeah, of course.
through her pain, she found a good foundation and was able to do something positive. Right?
It's nice. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really awesome,
isn't it? And one more story about philanthropy. Meek Mills and Kevin Hart donated $7 million to Philadelphia or private schools in Philly. I wonder why they didn't donate that $7 million to the regular schools.
Right.
Yeah, because private schools
is that? Can I ask what? So, I noticed that a lot of times celebrities and a lot of charitable not charitable events, but a lot of people that do a good amount of charities, a lot of philanthropists. I see a lot of stuff go to a lot of African schools. I see a lot of stuff go to a lot of well-known schools, a lot of schools for the arts and so forth. But I really don't see people doing shit for public schools.
Yeah, we doing shit for public schools every day. It's called our taxes.
We are.
Right.
But where are these guys with these deep pockets that like to let us know how they're doing so much for all these other schools that, you know, do already somewhat have a support group for them, for their kids? What about these
poor children that need the help? Yeah.
Not even urban schools, just in general, because
Yeah.
the school system everywhere, you know what I mean, unless it's a really prestigious area. But for the most part, public schools in general could really use help. Yeah.
So then let me ask, and I'm glad we're talking about this, right, as a point of contention. But like the lottery is supposed to give money to public schools. Are they really? Because it was up to $1.1 billion, which means they should have got a nice bleeping cut.
So that makes me, let me bounce my question off your question. It kind of makes you wonder, you know, they upped the amount because nobody claimed it.
Yeah.
I think unclaimed funds should go specifically to our youth for school programs. We're talking about how our roads are all jacked up and shit like that, but you're telling me like $1 billion floating out there that nobody claims, or there's like $257 million that nobody's claiming.
Yeah.
Somebody's pocketing the money. So let me ask you, since
where's the fucking money going?
Right
now, they roll it over.
Yeah,
they claim to roll it over and keep the thing going.
You know, it's very difficult about the whole thing. Like even in New York, they allocated $148 million to rehabilitate Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, old public schools where the bathroom tiles were falling out, and they're fixing it, but only gave it to Indian contractors. They gave the contract. Yep, and all they're doing is swelling the money. I was called in to talk and be a performer for some of these companies and a supervisor, and I said, "What are you guys doing? This is a scam. You know, how could we get in and put the tile in the cheapest way because we're charging this city?" And this is what goes on. This goes on in Jersey. This goes on everywhere.
Nationwide, worldwide.
Yeah, it's worldwide. And what they're doing is they're taking these funds. They're not putting it into books or anything, and they're not making sure these people are doing these jobs right. They're supposed to be replastering the wall and putting solid cement in, and all they're doing is just patching it up where in a year it's going to fall apart. And they're charging the city all this money, and I witnessed it. And I said, they offered me $95 an hour. And
Jim,
I refused
I would reflect that in voting, and let your friends know to reflect that in who we're voting in as officials. Because these people know what's going on, and they're letting it slide.
Yeah, they have no more school sport activities. They have no scholarship programs or, A student stuff and honor student stuff anymore, where the programs were astute. They don't have auto mechanics anymore, where people were learning how to do automobiles. They don't have construction courses anymore. It's all academics in the classroom, and they're not giving these kids proper books, but they're allowing these people to take 148 or 156 million dollars and just scrap, bathrooms that the stuff is falling apart. A friend of mine that got involved in it said that the bathrooms and all the work they were doing for the repairs on the floor and the plaster, everything was falling apart within a year. So all this money was wasted.
So let me ask you, because it seems like New York City as a whole is being regentrified pretty fast, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So there are few to far. I mean, Black families have moved out in droves, right?
In droves.
And so I find it interesting that they're not repairing the schools for everybody else's kids, because they damn sure don't do it for people of color.
Listen, nobody supervises anything. And even if these schools like Brownsville, they did the school in Brownsville, and a year later, everything was falling apart.
Kids are really going to these public schools in the community. Right. Are they not going to? Because every time, and again, this is a perception I have of New York. I haven't been there in many years, so I may be wrong. But I think a lot of the wealthier people that are moving into the city are automatically putting their kids into private schools.
Right. Yeah. And that's what a lot of people are doing now. That's right. But you're still paying the public taxes, even if you put your kids in private schools. Depending on the sector, yeah, like Jersey is ridiculous. Like this is some of the taxes in Jersey is $16,000 and $22,000 a year, and that goes to the schools, sanitations, all the street programs, paying for the police and cops, and it just keeps getting more and expensive and more expensive, and that's what they do. They pass it.
Paid anymore. Nobody's getting paid anymore. The
No.
teachers are still at the bottom of the totem pole. It's just
That's right.
a freaking mess. In Virginia, just to jump on this really quick, they have Governor Youngkin is now trying to figure out a way to say if your kids are not in public school, you get that money back. You get it in, like you can put in a 529.
Yeah, I agree. If you're paying for private school, you shouldn't be paying.
Yeah, but I want refund. Shit.
Right.
Man. All right. So as we jump off of that, let's talk about Neo and his 6 kids, man. Did y'all see that? Is he the new P. Diddy? Is he P. Diddy Jr.?
I got a comment. I got to comment.
Come on,
let's hear about this.
Listen, hear me out, y'all. Hear me
all
out.
The way.
All the way. 6 blocks. Future, Nick Cannon, Neo, Diddy. Hold on. I'm missing somebody. Who the hell am I missing?
Future, Nick Cannon, Neo.
We got Diddy.
What about Tristan Thompson? Is he coming up on the list anytime soon?
No, because these are guys with 6+ children.
Oh.
Yes, all these guys are like 6+ers. Because Nick is on his 12th. Mariah.
12?
Yes.
Mariah's trying to get custody of her kids. Yes. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No. By all means, we ping pong this one. By all means. Yes, she absolutely is. I don't mean to sound so excited when I said yes, but
he ain't got time for everybody.
It's not even that he doesn't have time. It's just because you have the money to do it, it is morally irresponsible. Nick Cannon's reasons for doing it are allegedly, this came out of his mouth, but I'm still going to use the term allegedly. Nick's reason for doing it is because he says, humanity's dying. We need to repopulate the world. Here's the problem with that. Bruh, if you got 12 kids, and all these kids seem to be in the same region, you're not worried about when they start marrying cousins and shit. Like, nobody cares about 3rd and 4th cousins and so forth. And, because these guys, these musicians, because we're not even talking about regular guys that are having this many kids. These guys can afford this amount of kids, and then they're still not paying child support. Future is always under fire for child support.
Damn, Future. I thought you had the money, bruh.
I mean, come on. Yeah. And
but is that why Mariah Carey is asking for full custody?
Yeah, probably.
Mariah don't need the money. And she said, well, listen, I've always got the kids. And Mariah's a classy broad, so she's not going to come right out and say, listen, he's not doing what he needs to do. So she just kind of, with all his new activity, he doesn't really have the time. What that equates to is you've got some questionable behavior right now. And I think it's best that I remove my children from this
from the narrative. Yeah.
And I think that she has enough respect in class to not blast him and say that. I think this is just a classier way of saying,
right, what? I agree. Yeah, that is classier.
I'm not involved.
Yeah, let's not,
take me, remove me from the equation. Don't mention me no more.
Yeah.
Don't give me this bullshit.
Always attached. When you do mention Nick's kids, she is attached to that. He does have twins by her. She is the only woman that he's been married to.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever you hear Nick Cannon, like a lot of other celebrities, you will hear Mariah's name attached, whether it's good or negative. So I do think a lot of these guys don't realize it doesn't matter if you have the money. The shit's irresponsible as hell.
Very.
Right.
They're not all of these kids. Like, I think one lady, you've got like 2, maybe 3. Then you've got 2 here. And then the rest is like a one and done and one and done and one and done. Like, this shit sounds, what's that game? Whack-a-mole. He's playing
he's whacking a mole. He's whacking a bunch of moles.
Totally.
Shout out to John. Thanks for joining us.
Again, he's whacking a bunch of moles. Yeah, that was funny. But yes, he is. So I do think it's irresponsible for all of them. It's irresponsible for the women as well. Let's not just hold these guys accountable.
No, because they're opening their legs. A lot of these people are influencers trying to get promotion.
Absolutely.
They're on Nick Cannon's coattails to try to become more. And as John says, yes, very unfair to the kids. Because they're on the coattails trying to build up their careers and everything through Nick Cannon's fame. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, like John said, it's unfair to the kids, and it's very irresponsible because you can't spend quality time with all of these children. You can't.
No, it's impossible. How can you?
You can't raise them.
And you understand, here's what makes it worse. This goes back to, again, the whole women not being able to have children, and they're, doing experiments on trans men. This goes back to that. You have people that want to have families, and I'm talking about men, not last time I was speaking on women. Let's speak on men. You have men that want to have families nowadays. You have men that want to be in a monogamous relationship and actually be in a household with their children.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's also unfair for those guys. It's
absolutely
unfair for those guys that are looking, and here you are populating the world with women that you have no intentions on ever being with.
Exactly.
You have no intentions on making an actual family environment. This shit is like really new age concubines.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, because there is no family value there.
There is none.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. There's no family value. There's no.
Yeah.
And again, money cannot buy you class. Let me say that again, y'all.
And Mariah is extremely
in the nosebleed seats. If you did not hear me, I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how much clout, how much prestige. I don't give a shit who the fuck you know. None of that will buy you class. I don't care how much Gucci, Nucci, Poochie, whatever the hell you wearing.
If you're not classy, you just ain't classy, baby.
And making babies all over the place for both men and for the women that know that he's making babies all over the place, and you're deciding to be a part of that clan. It's your body. You can do what the hell you want to. But I'm still going to talk about your ass because it's unclassy and it's disgusting. Because
it's very disgusting.
You're thinking about you and what you want, and you're not thinking about long-term for your children and your children's siblings, because now these are all your children's siblings.
Yeah.
How much does it take to have, how many people do you need for a starting lineup?
A football or basketball or baseball?
All three. All three.
So basketball, you need to start at 5. Football,
football. So so that started 5, and for football,
Jimmy, help me out here. I can't remember. Wasn't it 12 on the field?
It's
11 on the field because
there's 11 players on the field. Yes.
Yep.
And baseball.
And baseball.
If you get 12, babe, you're gonna get fouled. They're gonna give you a 15-yard penalty. Too many men on the field, babe. Yep. It's 11.
So right now, Meek has a lot of fucking penalties because he's got too many fucking men on the field. He's literally legit just had his 12th baby.
That's right. That's right.
That is
you know what the problem is with entertainment, or you're in the limelight. Listen, people, especially women, women are, and I'm not saying bad things about all women, and I don't mean anything against you guys at all, but that in general, a lot of women want to flock around these guys, and these guys have these women. I mean, look at Tom Brady. Already he's not, his divorce, the ink on his divorce paper is not even dry, and the guy's out, he's got women all over him trying to grab him and get a hold of him. And that's what they do, they don't care. It really is a very, I don't know, how would you say? I mean, Malik, Dutch, we talked about this once. We're kind of old-fashioned, and we think that a man should be with a woman and respect that woman and respect your children and raise them. Yeah. So we're kind of old-fashioned. For me, the lifestyle is just very dangerous, and that's why we're talking about it, because all these people really have no family value, Nick Cannon. Yeah, it just, not even Nick Cannon. I'm just talking about even basketball players. You can't help yourself, it's what's given. Right, that's right. That's what it is, Malik. You're 100% right.
I can have a dark-skinned woman Wednesday. I'm gonna have me a white girl Thursday.
Whatever you want, it's there. They throw them.
I got me a light-skinned
baby.
Listen, I was in the Mirage Hotel, and there was Dennis Rodman. This is back in the late 90s. And I'm with Dennis Rodman. I met Dennis Rodman. I was talking with him. I met him with Danny Aiello in the Cannes Film Festival. But in Vegas, there was 30, 40 women around this guy, flocking, touching him, grabbing him, trying to hold his arm. And, if you look at him, you wouldn't, He ain't much to look at, man. But that's how much it matters. That's how much it doesn't matter. And he has said to me,
y'all. I'm pulling it up for him. People in the cheap seats. That's what
there
this
you go, man.
like. And he wears dresses.
Yeah. And look, Carmen Electra, right? She was going out with him for a long time,
She married him, didn't she?
She married him, yes. And this is the crap that goes on. And I said, it's great to be in the NBA, isn't it, Dennis? And he looked at me and he just smiled. That's the thing, man. It's just there for the taking. So that's why you have um, these crazy situations with these kids, and that's why you have all these lawsuits and problems and crazy stuff. And like I said, you're mentioning off all these guys and they have 6 kids. How do you handle all that and then have a decent life when you have children with so many different women?
You can't. You can't.
You can't, babe.
Really can't. You really freaking can't. Does you look like you wanted to jump in with something? What you got for us, hon?
Shit, man. I'm in the land now. I'm on an airplane now, so shit.
That's awesome, babe. I wish I was there. I had to get on a plane. I couldn't take nothing. I'm bone dry here, all right? You guys, I'm jealous.
Oh, geez. You at home, Jimmy? How come you
No.
You ain't called Bush or nothing?
No, I'm in Jersey, man. I'm like an hour away from him. So anyway, you guys sent me that thing on Ron Jeremy. I thought that was hysterical.
Oh,
come on, man.
Yeah, man. Do you guys want to?
Did you ever meet him?
Yeah, let's tap that.
I've definitely seen him. But it was where? It was in a passing. I was a lot younger. He looks really horrible in person. A really fat guy in person.
And is he not disgusting looking, Dutch? Honestly, you're a woman. Is he not disgusting looking?
Yeah, he's the TV did him a little bit of justice, and he was already
totally.
Yeah, and that should tell you something. If he already looked disgusting on TV, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Ron Jeremy. Same thing with R. Kelly. I seen R. Kelly in person probably when I was about 17, and the first thing I noticed was he had like a lot of craters in his face. So you got like a
really?
Makeup, yeah. He wears a humongous amount of whatever that shit is that they put on. But
foundation.
Yeah, a ton of foundation. But so this guy,
man,
Jeremy, super porn star. If
he used to have the biggest around,
biggest.
We got him, Malik. You brought us into the light, babe.
I gotta fan myself on that one.
That's a great explanation without saying a word. Yeah, that's
yeah. So Ron Jeremy is a well-known porn star from the 70s, started in the 70s.
Wasn't Dirk Diggler based on him?
Yes.
Yes.
So he had a career span of over 30 years.
Ew.
So I want you to this disgusting fat dude with this long, disgusting, like greasy kind of hair, humping and thrusting, standing over these young, girls,
beautiful girls,
like 18. You got to think back then. It's set in the 70s and 80s. There were, an age thing. It was 18-year-old girls, 19-year-old girls, 21-year-old girls, 25. They weren't really into the 30-year-old women. So these were really young girls that were trying to, if Hollywood didn't
industry,
Hollywood
did what they have to.
Damn,
did porn, and now we have a lot.
And they don't care what a guy looks like. They're just so.
No, they kind of do, but they should. But at the end of the day, it's a paycheck. Am I gonna eat or am I gonna fuck Ron Jeremy?
I think Ron Jeremy. I think for the women that were promiscuous, that were really, as she put it, I think some girls probably felt like,
ill.
In the porn world, you have to think. We got to think of the celebrity porn world. So in that world, he was a god. You know what I mean? And
and so your movie would be popular because you were in it with him. I get it, but
guess what? He is a rapist. Period.
Yeah. So let me get through this. There are several, not just one, but there are several women that he was supposed to stand for criminal. These are criminal charges of rape.
Right.
Will not be able to stand trial now because he has been deemed to not be mentally able to because he has dementia. Basically, Ron done lost his fucking marbles. Literally. So
all the syphilis he caught.
Yeah,
He
and they're
got dementia all of a sudden.
fast.
Nah,
So
I
now
think
he's
it was
about to be in an institution. They're going to hospitalize him. So now none of these crimes, he won't be able to stand any sort of criminal charges. No type of criminal charges will be able to be brought against him. I'm pretty sure Tory Lanez wish he had dementia right now. But anyway, that's pretty much what that is. That's a really disgusting dude, though.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a fat dude in porn, and people really glorified this guy. And I'm pretty sure he did
They
that.
only glorified him because of the ruler.
And listen, I'm pretty sure.
Dutch, man. Did you have that ruler ready for us with this?
She had it ready.
I didn't realize we were talking about it, but if the ruler is sitting here, let's not knock it.
You know, but
Man. But honestly, do you really think he has dementia? You know,
no.
all of a sudden all this stuff is coming to play. It's the same thing like Harvey Weinstein. You know, all of a sudden I'm too sick and I have a health issues and I have a heart problem and I can't stand trial. But meanwhile, the guy got 26 years. So,
well, let me tell my one inappropriate joke for the night. That means he literally did fuck his brains out. And every
right.
I told you some of that shit is dementia too, coming from like syphilis and all those diseases give you that shit.
They say long-term syphilis, you know, but here's the thing, man. I do believe he did that shit. And the reason why I believe he did that shit, again, he was a big popular person in his world and the world that he lived in, and which allowed him to be able to freely touch and grab and
like Hugh Hefner.
Yes. Hugh was another one, you know.
And nobody's going to deny, and nobody better deny that. But Hugh Hefner was a snake. Everybody thinks he was I'm here. You know, he was there for the money and he was there for the women, and he had plenty of them. Believe me.
Well, listen again.
You want to be in my calendar?
When you let 12-year-old Brooke Shields, Brooke Shields was 12 years old when she graced the cover of Playboy completely nude.
And you have her parents. Her mom and dad weren't shit for that.
Her mom and dad weren't shit, and Hugh wasn't shit.
You're so right about that. That was freaky, man.
Yeah, anybody that bought that subscription, and I'm sure it's one of you pervert motherfuckers that has that shit way back, that has a Playboy collection, because that was part of one of the subscriptions.
I saw that. It was bad. I didn't like it at all, man. It kind of freaked me. It kind of creeped me out a little bit.
This was early 80s, late 70s. A 12-year-old girl. We're not even going to mention the fact that she's famous. We're just going to call her a 12-year-old girl because that's what she was. Nobody knew
at that time. Nobody knew who the fuck she was.
No. So a 12-year-old girl that didn't have anything. Because, you know, and it's easy to Google this shit. 12 years old. So you got a girl with a boy body.
Great. Yeah, she had no breasts. It was in the magazine. There was no. She was flat chested. You know, strange shit, man.
So now you have to ask yourself, what was the fucking art? Because you're not gonna tell me that shit was fucking art. What was the art in that, and what was the motivation behind putting a fucking 12-year-old on an issue? Because that's what each one that comes out is an issue to a subscription.
Right. Well, he took a lot of flack for that.
But he still did it. And what made him what made you want to do it? Yeah. What made you want to? Who the fuck decided, you know what, she's 12? We can find sexy in this. Get the fuck out of here. How? How do you find sexy?
Wait. I don't even.
Do you remember that movie? Do you remember that movie she did?
What'd you say, Malika?
I didn't mean to cut you off, but they said she was 10.
Actually, you're correct. She was 10. Damn, I forgot about that. Yes. She was 10.
They're saying that she was 10 in the Playboy?
Her mom did that to her.
Yep.
That's some Kardashian shit.
Her mother. Oh yeah, I gotta talk about them too. Yeah, but
that's some Kardashian shit, man.
Yeah. Hey, but really look at that. That is some real sick shit.
That is trifling.
So when you look at the Aaliyahs and you look at the Jocelyn Savages and you look at all these girls, this shit been going on in every community. You understand? This shit, people offering up their kids.
That's right.
sort of money and fame.
But
Because
think about it. The Romans were doing it back in the day. During the Roman Empire, they were raping little boys and little girls.
Or for pleasure.
Well, they used to ask the gladiators, what do you want? Little boy, little girl, a man, a woman?
Yeah.
Women were for politics and to bear children, and the boys, the men. Alexander the Great is one of the ones that you should is noted. He had a lover.
Child molester.
Yeah. A lot of them, the Persians, and it's still going on in the Middle East. So
yeah, the Persians were notorious too for that crap.
Let's talk about the fact that in certain countries, women, and this is what I learned from a expert, right? In Middle Eastern countries, women are for reproduction, boys are for pleasure.
Yes, that is absolutely a staple in the cultural findings of how they move and do shit. Yes, that's the best.
Little boys,
freaky, but isn't that freaky, man? Did you find that?
But I want you to think about this. These are Muslim countries. Do you know how strict the Muslim religion is, right?
For women, not for nobody else. The men do what the fuck they want.
But listen, this is what I'm saying. Muslim religion is still no smoking, no drinking, no pork, no profanity.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Pray 5 times a day. That shit has no gender. So
that's right.
So for you to have that type of structure, and these people don't just become religious, you're born into this shit.
And we're not down in the Muslim culture, we're down in the people that practice
absolutely.
it and
I have been Muslim at one point, and
so was I. Yeah.
So we're definitely not down in the Muslim culture, but I am about facts.
Facts is facts.
And a fact is, the Middle East does promote sex with boys.
It does. It really does, man.
Parents sell their boys. If they're beautiful children, fuck it, they're ruined.
And my point to point out that it's a Muslim country is not about Muslim, not at all, because definitely have mad respect for the Muslims.
But it's about hypocritical shit.
Hypocritical shit like the Catholics. I grew up Catholic. So
I converted.
Growing up Catholic is the same shit with the altar boys. Growing up Christian is the same thing with the preachers. You understand what I'm saying? Messing with the teenage girls. This shit is
or the wives of the men in the church.
So my point is, Muslims don't get a pass either. Was the point of me pointing out that this is happening in a strict religion. So if a strict religion will do this type of shit, imagine religions that are a lot more lackadaisical.
Yeah.
Hey, they were even allowed to kill their wives in certain situations.
Oh yeah, if she brings dishonor to the family.
Right. Yeah. Oh, that's what it was. Dishonor to the family. Yes. If you would have and men and they throw stones and shit.
The whole neighborhood will.
Yeah, the neighborhood gets involved. You know, but sometimes it's not even with a court. They were justified.
No, they are the court.
They're the
court. They're the judge, the jury, and the executioner. Yep. But look, let's talk about some succubuses out there, right? The succubi called the Kardashians. Everybody knows what a succubi is, right? Boom.
I do.
No.
So, it's a demon woman.
Oh, okay.
It's an evil force around you.
Malik, educate me, please.
And so the succubi have banded around poor Tristan Thompson after his mother passed.
Oh, rest in peace to Tristan.
To his mother.
Tristan third trimester Thompson. However, it's probably inappropriate right now to make a joke because the man is grieving.
He is grieving, but I'm more worried about the fact that he's got these crazy ass bras that take down people around him during this time.
Yeah.
You know, my thing is with Tristan, I really don't care what happens to Tristan because you've got to be a really disgusting person to go out, create a child, and then it's not so much if you don't want to be with the mother. It's the fact that you knew that you didn't wrap. You knew that you were unprotected, and you still tell this lady, "I'm not going."
What up, New Age? And I'm sorry, Ditch. Go ahead.
New Age. I'm not gonna listen. I'm not gonna be in this kid's life. Don't even bother. I don't want anything to do with this child. So there's no point in it.
I don't think it was the child though. I think that it takes 9 months for a woman to carry a child.
Well, this was after the child was born, though.
That's what I'm saying. He probably was already done with this broad, and she was running around promoting and doing her shit on the Kardashians. Oh, Tristan will be calling soon.
Hey, I got a message from somebody.
Oh, this was the trainer or some shit. She was actually real hush about it. And yeah, and he was caught messing with her during the birthday, and he tried to make it seem like it wasn't this and that, and then so she finally put the receipts out. So actually, she was actually quite hush about the shit until
That's fucking evil, man.
Yeah, so it wasn't
That's
her.
fucking evil.
Tristan did that foul shit to himself.
Yeah, he did. But after you've been with the Kardashians, I feel bad for any man to have to go.
Oh, well, that's a fact.
Totally, man.
I mean, and going through that,
You know, I love the way Kim. I love the way Kim comes off as such this goody two shoes and classy girl, and man,
Kim is the farthest thing from class. But I will give her kudos on helping Black people get out of prison that were wrongly convicted. I do give her kudos.
No, and listen,
but
do all the bad, some good's got to come out of it somehow.
Yeah, but outside of that, she ain't got shit to say.
Well, I will say this again: you can't buy folks. Can't buy class.
That's right.
But
don't make a difference. It's got to be in you, or if it's not, you ain't getting it.
Well, Kim had a lot in her, but it wasn't class. So
no. You guys are on this thing tonight. I'm sorry. Okay. The league was going at it with Ron Jeremy, and now our shit started with Kim. Oh man.
Yeah, that crazy shit like that. Hey,
yeah.
Jimmy, New Age Plug says he still needs that feed pen. Y'all got?
Oh, bro, he could. But wait, what? Does he want me to send him to him?
I mean, let's not talk about transporting. Let's talk about, hey, New Edge, hit him back on the on your personal line, the way y'all meet up or however, he got your number.
And I'll hook him up, man.
Yeah. There you go. And then I guess New Age has a show as well. Hit the line button. I'll be live tonight at 11. All right. Shout out to you, brother. I hope your show goes well. And if I can, I will try to jump on.
I'll surely tune in. You're always,
Yeah, you always there for us. We there for you too, brother. So,
that's right.
Yeah, man. Fam is fam. Hey, the FAA had a glitch. 4,500 domestic flights canceled.
Wait. Guys, one quick plug-in. A New Age plug while you're plugging your show in. I'm going to need you to slide after this to the Ask a Virgo show.
Yeah, for sure.
Moving along.
FAA glitch. 4,500 flights canceled. Domestic flights canceled.
Oh,
so this is becoming a pain in the ass to air travel.
Listen, I've been bitching about not leaving my island for the last 2-3 years, right? But after I've seen flights canceled
all the time,
Jose's aunt came. She got stuck in Tripler, her whole trip, which is the Army Medical Center. She got an infection, but her infection came from not drinking water. And she's like 60. I don't know how that happens at that age.
We'll be praying for her. Hope everything works out.
Yeah, well, everything worked out. Tripler would not release her. So it was like serious dehydration. But I say that to say before she got here, she was one of the ones that had those canceled flights last week.
With on the FAA or with Southwest?
I think
remember Southwest is canceling everybody too for a while.
Yeah, it was like they got stuck in I think it was maybe Colorado or something like that. They got stuck somewhere.
Man, do you see what's going on with the airlines? I came up on Delta and I had to wait. They told me when I wanted to change my flight to adjust it, oh, well, you're going to have to fly from Newark, New Jersey to Detroit. Then you're going to have to fly from Detroit to Atlanta and then from Atlanta to Fort Myers. And I said, there's no direct flights to Fort Myers. She goes, we don't have enough staff, and the planes have to what they call overwork the planes and the system because there's not enough people to handle the phones. There's not enough people to... When I went to get my ticket in Fort Myers, there was one woman at the stand, and there was... Yeah. And it was insane. It was insane.
Horrible. That's horrible. And that just goes to say that either the companies need to find out what people want to come work for them. They may need to treat their employees better, or C, they need to come up with a new automated way to do this type of stuff.
Well, guess what?
Like every time you go to for instance, every time that most of us travel, we got to go to the front desk. We can't just check out at the kiosk because something's wrong with our shit. But
Right,
that
and
came
some
from
people
them.
don't know how to use the kiosk,
Yeah,
and normally there's a person to show them how to use the kiosk. But guess what?
those people
There's
aren't there
not
anymore.
enough. There's not enough people. When I was on my plane, there was two stewardesses, one handling the whole back of the plane and one handling the first class.
But you
They-
guys know
go
what
ahead.
it takes to actually so I would say that they need to hire more stewardess, but here's where the problem is. So the lady that lives behind me, her name we're not going, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, we won't
Yeah.
disclose.
So
Yeah.
right. So she works for Hawaiian Airlines. And even though she had been working for Hawaiian Airlines for many years, she had like an accident on the plane, you know, she had to take some time off. So going back into work, here's what these flight attendants have to go through. It's not really as easy as most people would think it is to become an airline attendant, and and they still have to take a reassessment while they're still actively working to make sure
That's
that
right.
you know your shit, you know, and the FCC regulations and so forth.
Right.
So
It's
it's a lot of
FCC,
work.
right?
Are they
Yeah, so it
paid?
is a lot
Are
of
they
work.
paid commence to that, or?
Yes, they are. However, here's the thing. So I don't think it's a matter of hiring, and I think it's a matter of qualified. I think it's a matter of being qualified to actually do it. Because I think in the
So,
event,
Dutch, you don't think it has anything to do with money? Like the
no,
girls that go on the line and they're taking the tickets and they got to deal with all these people, and people are not getting disgusted because they're getting $15, $20 an hour to deal with all this
no,
insanity?
they make more than so. Kevin, I can't say his name again. Malika, she's aware of who Kevin is. Um, might be a little strong, huh? Hitting the chest a little bit.
Man, I took a hit that almost killed me.
but,
I had to go on
but,
mute for that shit. Lord, but it's
yeah,
good.
but you Kevin works for Delta, and he's not a flight attendant. He actually does work inside of the airport. They make great money, even though they have to deal with a lot of bullshit. I
Right.
think a qualification thing. You know what I mean? I think it really has to do with qualifications because it's not easy. Those assessments, you know, part of it is timed. It took her a few days to finish her assessment, and she said,
Damn.
you know, yeah, they, you know, I had to like at this time tell her, hey man, take a break and you know come out, and but she had to do it on the laptop, and she, you know, one of them was
Is she,
timed, wasn't.
is she flying right now? Is she a stewardess?
Yes, she is. She's current. This is actually currently going on, but she's already finished all that.
Back
Like,
in the air. Yeah.
yeah. But again, even with my son's godfather, Kevin, it's the same thing. You know, he makes great money. He works for a totally different airline. You know, one of them works for Hawaiian and one works for Delta.
Right.
And actually, we know two people that are family that work for Delta. So money is not an issue. I don't think money is an issue, and two of them are males and one is a female.
Okay.
And I say that it's an issue with gender either because they're all making good money.
Good.
I think it has something to do with being qualified, you know, and
Yeah,
you gotta
I can see that. I can see what you're saying.
and
Yeah,
all
you
these
can't just have anybody it's representing your company, you
Or
know.
flying the plane.
And who the hell
Or,
wants
yeah.
complaints?
well, and also I want y'all
I
to
mean,
think
they get
about
them.
this. I want y'all to remember the last time that you flew, and I want you to think in the mind of this. These people that I'm mentioning are 40 plus. Everybody that I just mentioned is 40 plus. Now I want you to think
Right.
about your. It's not like they show on TV these young,
No,
slim.
it's not.
No, flight attendants are typically in their late 30s, early 40s. So these are people that have to have a certain mindset. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to look at the generation now. If you're not already flying, you have a whole other generation of people coming up. Are you clicking what I'm saying? And the work ethic and the assessment,
Right.
all of that.
Right.
No,
That makes sense.
I get it. So
Yeah,
my
look at
last flight was on the 2nd. I flew home on the 2nd.
Right.
And I have to say there was a mix. There was a mix on the cabin. I flew Delta though. There was a mix on the cabin on because they had like 3 people working it. It was an older lady, a kind of a younger guy. I'd say maybe he was in his early 30s, and then there was a young lady on board. So
I'm seeing a lot of male stewardesses lately too.
yeah, a lot more.
A lot of male everything lately. You're seeing more male hairdressers. You're seeing more male chefs, more male flight attendants.
Which is good. Why were they hiding out from the industry? Probably because it was seen as a woman's job. You see more male nurses.
You know, you would see more waitresses, and you would see waiters in a more prestigious type of restaurant.
Yeah,
but I'm starting to see, and not just bus boys. Like I'm seeing waiters as just as much as I'm seeing women.
Nurses, as I said, all of that.
Yeah, that's right. You did say, yeah, nurses. You're seeing a lot more, but you're also starting to see women. You don't see a lot, but I'm seeing more female firemen.
Oh yeah, I love being a fireman. I was a volunteer firefighter.
Where in Virginia?
Yep.
Wow, and you're not. I mean, Dutch, you did it a while ago, or you did it recently?
No. So and this is Malika.
I mean, Malika. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not even smoking.
Yeah, I'm saying, man, and I'm high as a kite. But but as I was saying, I finished up in like 2011. That's when I finished up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you like it? Did you like it?
I loved it. I loved the camaraderie. At that time, I was a little older than some of the people in the firehouse, you know, because I'm an old lady now. But I'm still fly. But I used to do it like all the time, and it was so much fun. The people were awesome. It was just a great community to be a part of, you know. Wow. And if you ever get a chance to volunteer, that's a great thing, because at the end of the day, we had people that were making careers out of this, you know.
Yeah. The only thing I ever volunteered for was the vets.
Well, I know firefighter is the correct term.
Yeah.
But fireman. But if she's a that is a firefighter, you call her what do you?
We still call her a fireman, unfortunately.
So it's not like a firewoman, fire lady. There's like
they called me a fireman.
They called you a fireman?
I went to the fireman academy.
I think I like fire lady. I think I kind of like that. Fire
lady. Yeah, the fire lady is my fire lady can be spiritual too.
Yeah.
How you doing? And this is our fire lady.
This is our fire lady over here. All right.
These are our firemen men, and this is our fire lady.
Yeah. And at that time, there were a couple of girls in the department, but we kind of all stuck together. It wasn't like a tremendous amount of girls.
Did you see a lot of action, man?
The unfortunate part about it is the fireman is also trained to do BLS, basic life,
right,
things like that, or ALS.
Right.
And so what winds up happening is the ambulance is out all night, and then the fire calls are usually like to, these help 600-pound people out of bed so they can go to the bathroom at 3:00 in the morning type shit. So, but I did get to see a couple of houses burn. Yeah. And so we went and helped with the deconstruction and recon and all that other good shit.
And you ran in there with the fire hose, babe, and you put that shit out, man.
No, I wasn't going inside with the fire hose. I was more auxiliary in the background, because you know what, the fires happen so few and far in between that most of the younger trainees or the people that are new don't get to really go in there and do all of that all the time.
Right. All right, I got to ask you one other question. Did you ever take any cats out of the tree?
No, I wasn't fucking with no cats. No. But the couple of stories I did see, like, so one girl burnt her house down with her family in it, which was lovely, you know.
She burnt it down?
She burnt her family's home. She set it to blaze with her family in it because her boyfriend...
To kill them?
No. Fortunately, we were able to get there in time to save everybody.
But was she intentionally doing that to kill them?
No, she did that because her boyfriend dumped her.
Oh, yeah. Man.
I called my daughter right there from the phone. Look, baby. Don't be messing up like that. No.
Man, you talk about being traumatized, right?
Dude, what are you talking about? Man, it was crazy.
That's crazy. Of course it is.
And I saw a couple of families, and because we did the BLS too, I saw a couple of incidents of child abuse that just made you want to kill the people right there.
Man. That's wretched, man. That's a wretched scene, man.
Yeah. It's hard
my brother was a cop, and I don't know if you remember the Steinberger case years ago. That little girl, Jessica Steinberg. Years ago.
I heard her name.
I remember.
Yes, you probably did, but he was one of the arresting officers, and he had to hold back his
The family
partner.
killed her, right? The family killed the little girl.
Yeah, the husband was beating this little 6-year-old girl up, and she was beautiful. Man, I never raised my hands to my kids, man.
I can't say I've never raised my hands to him because some situations definitely.
Well,
Like if I tell you
it takes mama to take care of her shit, but I get it. But I'm not saying it's not a bad thing, but I just, I couldn't even comprehend. I'm talking about Malik. Yeah, you're gonna scold your kids, but
yeah, of course. But like
killing
Malik,
them, beating them to death because you're a frustrated piece of crap, man.
It's crazy, and that's what happened. We walked in, and we went in to save a 8-month-old child, but the parent had, fucked them up so bad that I don't even want to talk about it. So look, Damar Hamlin is home. Thank God. So
he's out.
Yeah, he's out. He's been released from the hospital, so he is good to go. He is back at home. They're probably still doing some monitoring, but all is well.
I don't think he'll play football again.
Yeah, I hope not. I think his family and he are too scared to do any of that. Yeah. And one last note, w.i.g got released on $25,000 bond for
he did?
drug possession. Yeah. Craziness, right? Absolute craziness.
Holy shit.
Yeah, man. And on that note, we're at an hour, so we're going to go ahead and jump out. And we appreciate all the viewers. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. And I'll let everybody round robin on their farewells. So, Dutchie, go ahead, kick it off.
Well, you guys stay safe out there. Stay warm. And peace.
Peace and love. And Jimmy, what you got for us? Closing words.
If you're living in the tri-state area, watch all the carjacking going on. Lock your windows. Be careful where you are. There's a lot of people out there that are doing crazy stuff lately, but just be safe and be warned.
Amen to that. A friend of mine was robbed this morning, so praise out.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was a mess.
Man, this world's turning into craziness, man.
Yeah, it is.
The rest of you guys hanging around, we're about to take a quick break, and we're going to be switching to Ask a Virgo, so y'all don't go nowhere.
Amen.
Enjoy yourself. See you guys later, man.
All right. Good night, everybody.